originally appointed back in 2017 to review the complex logistical challenges of accessing the scheme for Henry Riley. Whilst we were able to discount several options, including using the existing Clare Bridge, it was determined that given the size and volume of deliveries to serve the site and the reticence to use the oldest bridge in Cambridge, we would need to install a new temporary bridge adjacent to serve the project. This option would require forming a new access from Queen's Road across the ditch into the Fellows Garden before installing a new 57 metre maybe universal bridge over the River Cam into the Master's Garden. The works required forming a temporary access off Queen's Road via a Section 278 agreement, including removal of several trees, a bulk excavation and import of a temporary haul road within a route protection zone, installation of mini piles and foundations for the two maybe bridges, as well as significant crane mats and bases for the 500-ton mobile crane in the Fellows Garden and the largest self-erecting tower crane to sit in the Master's Garden to service the project. As part of the £1.5 million logistics works, we undertook significant coordination work with the following key stakeholders: Archaeology, Cambridge County Council Arboricultural Services, Cambridge Highways, King's College, the CAM Conservators, Temporary Works Design through Gorn Associates, the college, specifically the Gardening Committee and Estates team, to balance their operational requirements with the practical issues of the build. Challenges included coordinating the need for a robust and suitable road build-up for the size of plant to be utilised on the project and the existing sensitivities of excavating below 300 mm due to the site's likely historical interest as well as the presence of high-value trees and protected routes. Furthermore, the size of crane to lift the Maybe Bridge sections into position required precise swept path analysis from Queen's Road and a proposed widening of the access, which brought further coordination issues with the trees as well as practical concerns from Cambridge Highways. The works eventually commenced in July 2020 and immediately hit trouble following agreement to widen the access from Queen's Road as routes were found to be clashing with proposed access and pile positions. Following watching liaison with the council, watching briefs during the works and a significant operation to maintain programme using 1.5 tonne mini diggers and labour with wheelbarrows from the Fellows Garden, we were able to maintain programme and piled and installed the quick bridge over the ditch in August 2020, followed by the main bridge lift in September. The Fellows Garden currently accommodates our site welfare and compound. To adhere with the Environment Agency licensing, the garden falls within the footprint of a known floodplain. Type 3 granular material has been used to act as free draining and our haul road level has been built up off the existing levels of the lawn. The main bridge lift was a monumental effort from our supply chain, who had to cancel the first lift following concerns about the CBR of the outrigger positions of a crane. The bridge is 35 metres in length, spanning across the river, supported on piled foundation and concrete caps, requiring materials and piling rigs to be lifted over the cam during the night to complete the foundations and then back out of the area along with the excavated spoil. On the Fellows Garden side of the main bridge has an adjoining 20-metre access ramp with a combined weight of just over 30 tonne. A 500-ton crane was used to lift the structure into location and required river closures on the cam and a safety boat team on standby in the water. The main bridge was landed and unshackled at 8:55 a.m. in the morning with just 5 minutes to spare before the river was reopened. The bridge can take loads of up to 50 tonne and provides access for our cement lorries, dumpers and even provided access for our crane to be wheeled across. On the Master's Garden side, a reinforced tensar designed off-ramp was constructed in preparation for all plant and machinery accessing the North Passage. As soon as all ramps were operational, the demolition and forming of key openings was able to start. The Master's Garden forms part of our main compound and where the tower crane has been erected, which is incidentally the largest self-erecting tower crane in operation and is required for the distribution of loads along the North Passage. In the North Passage, where the new River Room Cafe will be sited, the 20th century buildings have been demolished, concrete slabs removed and new piled foundations complete, and where we are currently carrying out the substructure works. The works to reduce levels, prop the existing H-stair and retain the Trinity Hall boundary wall are complex, intricate and require significant coordination between temporary works requirements, permanent substructure design and buildability limitations due to the constrained working spaces available. Along the North Range, the 20th century buildings have been removed. A number of new openings through the historic fabric have been formed, including the very complex opening through the chimney at 3rd floor level. This opening is particularly tricky due to the existing chimney flue locations, temporary works involved to support the masonry above the opening, and the fact that the opening forms part of the new fire escape stairwell with treads and risers constructed within the masonry and stepped head detail finished with architectural precast stone. The North Range piling works have just concluded and we move into 6 months of detailed substructure works forming the basement, lift shaft and service trench, whilst also supporting the boundary walls between Clare and Trinity Hall College. During this period, this 3-storey building will be fully propped, allowing for new steel columns to be installed down to the new basement level, again another complex area. I will now hand over to Luke, who will take you through the internal areas of the project.
Hello and welcome to Clare College Phase 1B. I'm Luke Stevens, a management trainee for Barnes Construction. I've been on the project for just over a year. I will be taking you through a virtual internal tour, going through floor by floor and ending in Old Court to review the ongoing progress and activities on site. And so follow me. This is the main kitchen area for the college. In here we have completed soft demolition and we have protected the kitchen cooker hood, which is to be retained within this project. We have also installed new drainage to accommodate the new kitchen services. Upon a completion, this will be a new commercial kitchen for the college. I will now take you to the ancillary kitchen. We are now in the ancillary basement. This is the college food prep area. Within this area we have had to reduce the floor level to accommodate the new kitchen services, as well as the restricted head height room that we had in here. In this area we will be installing a block and beam floor, as well as a Seeker waterproofing system. Further down we have kitchen staff welfare facilities. I will now take you to the buttery. We are now in the buttery. This will be where the college will serve the food using the serving counters, which are currently protected, as you can see. Within the same area, we have completed soft demolition to my right, which will become new toilets for the college. And on my left, we have installed temporary propping to the historic facade, which has allowed us to remove the 20th century building. I will now take you to the screens passage. We are now in the screens passage. Within this area we have a series of new openings to form into the existing facade, into the new building. This will be achieved by temporary works designs and obviously careful demolition. This will be achieved similarly to what we have done for the propping, which allowed us to do the demolition to the existing building. I will now take you on to the 3rd floor. We are now on the 3rd floor. Behind me you can see that we have formed an opening through the chimney using a series of new lintels. We have done this by a complex temporary works design and careful demolition. In this area as well, we will be forming a new corridor, 2 new student accommodation rooms and a kitchen. I will now take you down to Old Court. So So we are now in Old Court, where you can see to my left we have a deep excavation where we have worked closely with Cambridge Archaeological Unit. In here there is going to be a sesame lift pit which will make the new building accessible for all users. Within this process we have had to form a retaining wall to retain the historic steps which are to my right, and by the end there will be new stone steps which will protect the historic ones. So this now brings us to an end to our virtual tour around Clare College. I hope you have found this interesting and it gives you an insight into our ongoing activities on site. Thank you.